Hey guys, this is Dr. Moss and I'm here today to help you guys make our Crockpot Italian chicken chili. This is one of my family's favorite dishes and it's super easy because we're making it here in the Crockpot. So I'm just going to go through with you guys how I do it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with, it says a small onion. Instead of a small onion, here in my house we do not use onion, we use shallot because my wife is sensitive to onions, and shallots are like small onions. They are very pungent. They're a little bit more of a pain to cut and use, but they are still very tasty and have a very good flavor profile. So that is what I'll be using here today. Feel free to use a regular onion. If I had my choice, I would be using an onion as well. So we are going to take these onions and dice them. And my favorite part of using a crock pot, it's really a set and forget. I'm just going to take all this stuff and just keep dumping it into the crock pot. And I have the crock pot already on, it's on low, because it looks like we're going to be cooking this for a few hours. We do have a couple other ingredients that we'll be adding to this at the end of the cook. With 30 minutes left, we add the broccoli rabe, we add the cannellini beans, and we will be adding the roasted bell peppers. All right. Let's see if I can get away with making these shallots without crying like I usually do, because these things make my eyes tear up pretty good. All right. Ooh, already starting to tear up. Good. All right. Onions are in. And I'll bother with this guy here. Ooh, my eyes are watering. All right. 3 cloves of garlic. I like to use big cloves. I only had 2 big cloves, so I'm gonna use 2 small cloves. Ooh, my eyes are watering. Wow. I love when I do this and my kids come home, Daddy, what's wrong? It's the onions. Man, eyes are watering. It's burning. So if you don't know this trick, and hopefully if you have been cooking for many years, you do, but when you're getting garlic cloves ready, you just take them, smash them with the side of your knife, and then the peel comes basically right off. And then from there, you are just going to, this recipe is asking for, you can either grate it, which I'm not going to do, or you could just dice it, which is what I am going to do. And dicing is just making it into tiny little pieces. And garlic is fantastic for you. So if you want to add more garlic, welcome to it. So we got the garlic in now. What's the piece of hair there? Okay. Get it off of me. All right, so we got the garlic, we got the onion in there. What is next? Now it's just our dry herbs and spices. So I'm starting here with 2 tablespoons of chili powder. And then we're doing 1 tablespoon of dried oregano. And this dried oregano is organic. I did get this at Costco, and that is 1 tablespoon. We are doing 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. Smoked paprika, I recently just discovered this, and it is one of my favorite new spices. It adds a smoky, sweet flavor to things, and I'll tell you, one of the things I use it for a lot now is just good old grilled chicken. Salt, pepper, smoked paprika is absolutely delicious. It's only 3 ingredients, and I did it the other day for my family. They're like, oh my God, what is this? And they were blown away. Smoked paprika, salt, and pepper. Oh, my eyes are still burning. All right, organic thyme. I got this one here at Whole Foods. So we're doing, looks like 2 teaspoons of that. And when you're cooking, I'm not measuring everything perfectly. I'm doing it pretty close. That's the art to it. But when you are baking, you definitely want to be particular because it's more of a chemistry experiment than the art to it. 2 teaspoons. Then we're doing a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. And so it says 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. That's going to bring a little spiciness into it. If you want it spicy, add more. Less spicy, a little bit less. I just kind of give it a little sprinkle. My family does not like it very spicy. I do like it spicy, so I'll add some later. Bay leaf, I ran out of bay leaf, so I'm skipping that right now. 1 teaspoon of salt. And for the salt, I will use pink Himalayan salt. It's got a lot of minerals in there for you, so it's good. You can use Celtic sea salt also. I would not use just regular sea salt or even iodized sea salt. That's not good for you at all. All right, then we are going to do chicken stock, 4 cups. That's basically 1 quart. I get this one at Costco. One thing I want to make sure of when I'm buying chicken stock or chicken broth, that there's no yeast extract in there. It's high in glutamate, which is like MSG. And you want to make sure it's coming from organic sources in chicken. And you really just want to, again, read your labels because honestly, stock is one of the harder things to find that is good and healthy for you. They put a lot of junk in there that you just don't need. All right, so you got those 4 cups of stock in there. Then we're doing the balsamic vinegar. It's a 1/2 cup of balsamic vinegar. Again, Costco. This is organic, and I like this one a lot. It's got a little pour on top, and it comes out pretty thick, which is really good when you're doing dressings and stuff like that. So we're going to go 1/2 cup. This adds a lot of complexity to the flavor profile and some acidity as well. There we go. All right, we are doing 1 can of tomato paste. Tomatoes are on the dirty dozen, so you make sure that those are organic. So I use the tomato paste again from Costco. It has always done me good. Let's get a knife. We're going to scoop out the tomato paste. There we go. I'll throw that in the recycling later. And we're going to mix that up. Really get that tomato paste mixed together. This is already smelling good. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to be doing here is just adding the chicken. And honestly, you could probably have added the chicken before the broth, just to get it all rubbed on. But honestly, after you sit there, it cooks for 4 hours, 6 hours. It's going to be all the same anyway. So I'm using chicken thighs. It says chicken breast or chicken thighs. I like doing the chicken thighs in this dish just because it will not dry out. So, and again, when you're using chicken, we want our meats to be organic. So I have organic chicken thighs from Costco. Yes, they're wrapped in plastic, which is why I'm going to make sure I take my detox and digestion to make sure that those microplastics are eliminated from my body. So we're just going to go ahead and place those in. And with chicken thighs, I always like to feel for little pieces of cartilage that might still be on there, because there's nothing worse to me than eating a piece of chicken and get one of those like pieces of bone and hard spots. To me, that's nasty. So if I feel each piece of chicken, make sure that those do not exist. And if they do exist, I just cut it out before biting into it. Okay, that was a good pack there. And it says do 3 pounds. You can do 3 pounds, you can do a little bit more, you can do a little less. It's really just up to you. And I said, I've done this with chicken thighs also, or chicken breasts also. It's just as good. I just like the chicken thighs because it just stays a little bit more moist. And then the dark meat has more good fat in it. And right now we're looking for more good fat. All right. All right. So that right there is about 3 pounds. I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a good mixing. Make sure the chicken is underneath the broth. Get it down deep. Good. Telling you, this dish is delicious and super duper simple. So now, let's see. We have a couple different options when it comes to cooking. You can go low for 6 to 8 hours, or you can go high 4 to 6 hours. I'm gonna go high because it's 2 o'clock now. I'll be home by 6. So I want this done around 6:37. So when I get home, I'll probably just cut it down to low for the last hour. And when there's 30 minutes left, that's where you're gonna cut up your broccoli rabe and put that in. You're gonna put the cannellini beans in, and you're gonna put the roasted red peppers. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover this now and get that on there nice and tight. Make sure it's on low, which I believe it is. And then we'll get back here in a little while when it's ready for the final ingredients. All right, just got home from the office. I can tell you my house smells delicious. So let's take a look and see what the food is looking like at this moment. Ooh, baby. Oh, that is looking good. And it is smelling good. So we have 3 more ingredients we got to put in. One is broccoli rabe. This is what broccoli rabe looks like. So it's gonna come a little closer here. So broccoli rabe has little florets of what looks like broccoli, lots of greenery. This is it's in the broccoli family. It does not taste, it tastes similar to broccoli. It's a little bit more bitter, so you definitely want to cook it down. So the way to prepare it, I already washed it. I'm just gonna cut the first inch, the bottom inch of it off, toss that to the trash, and then I'm gonna cut this in about 1/2 inch pieces all the way through. So we're just really kind of chopping it. The leaves, you just want to chop them again the other direction. All right, and then I'm just gonna take all that and toss it into the chili. All right, we're gonna stir it up. And those chicken thighs are already just falling apart, which is fantastic because we're gonna end up taking those guys out and shredding them here in a little bit. All right, so we got that. And then we have our organic cannellini beans. We're gonna dump those in. I already drained those. And then the last thing here is the organic roasted red peppers. I found this at Whole Foods. They are actually on sale right now, so I take them out, I drain them. Once I get them all out. And these look like they've already been cut into strips, which is great. Makes my job easier. But we're gonna go ahead and just cut them down a little bit more. Just a little bit of chopping going on here. And twice that way. And we're gonna dump it all back in. And if you've been cooking this on low, it's time to crank it on high. If you've been on high for 4 or 5 hours, you can go ahead and leave it on high. But we're gonna go ahead and mix it in. Take a look how pretty that looks with the red, the green, and the chicken. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the top back on. And we're gonna be back here in about 30 minutes. All right, we'll see you in 30. All right, 30 minutes is up, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what the dish is looking like. Get the steam off there. Really good pick in there. Oh yeah, that is looking good. So what I'm gonna do now, oh yeah, you're gonna have to hit that. We are gonna pull out some of the chicken. Get that out of the way here. And we're gonna get the big chunks out because we're gonna go ahead and shred it with some forks. These thighs just fall right apart. All right, did all of that, and I'm just gonna put it all back in. And when you're using hot food, try not to use a plastic cutting board. We don't need more toxins, we need less. So, all right, I'm gonna mix that up. And so the recipe also does call for some cheese. It says grated Parmesan cheese. If you're gonna do cheese, I would highly recommend it Pecorino Romano, because the Pecorino Romano is made from sheep's cheese, and sheep cheese is gonna be better than cow milk, or sheep milk instead of cow milk. So this is just about done. I'm not gonna do dairy. I'm not doing dairy right now, so we're just not gonna use any cheese at all. But honestly, it's phenomenal without. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy your dish, and we'll see you next time.